The locked ward. The sound behind the door. The hospital had been abandoned for nearly 20 years. At least, that's what everyone said. It stood at the edge of the town where the road turned narrow and cracked, swallowed slowly by weeds and silence. No one passed by unless they had to. Even the air felt different there. Heavy, stale, like it hadn't moved in decades. People called it the locked ward. No one knew its real name anymore. Aram never believed in ghost stories. He was a medical intern, fresh out of university, practical, logical, and deeply annoyed by superstition. When his friend Bilal dared him to spend one night inside the abandoned hospital, he laughed. "Ghosts don't exist," Aram had said. "It's just an empty building." Bilal had smirked. "Then go prove it." Now, standing in front of the rusted gate at 11:43 p.m., Aram wasn't laughing anymore. The chain wrapped around the gate hung loose, as if someone had already opened it. "That's weird," he muttered. He pushed the gate. It creaked loudly, too loudly, echoing into the darkness beyond. For a moment, he hesitated. Then he stepped inside. The hospital loomed ahead like a giant corpse. Broken windows stared down like hollow eyes. The signboard had long fallen, its letters scattered across the ground. The main entrance doors were slightly open. Aram raised his flashlight. The beam cut through dust and darkness, revealing peeling paint, shattered glass, and something else. Footprints, fresh ones. He froze. "Someone else is here," he whispered. That made him feel better, less alone. Or at least, that's what he told himself. Inside, the air was suffocating. It smelled of mold, rust, and something faintly metallic, like dried blood. The reception desk stood crooked, its drawers pulled open. Papers lay scattered across the floor, yellowed with age. Aram stepped forward carefully. Crunch. Glass under his shoe. He flinched at the sound. "Relax," he muttered. "It's just an empty building." But the silence felt wrong, not peaceful. Not quiet. Listening. A long corridor stretched ahead. Doors lined both sides, each one slightly ajar. Room 101, Room 102. Room 103. The numbers faded, but still visible. Aram walked slowly, shining his light into each room. Empty beds. Broken equipment, dust-covered walls. Nothing unusual. Until he reached Room 107. The door was closed. Completely. Unlike all the others, he frowned. "That's strange." He pushed it open. The room was spotless. No dust, no debris. The bed was neatly made. A chair sat beside it. And on the wall, scratches. Deep, jagged scratches. Like someone had clawed the paint away with their nails. Aram stepped closer. The scratches weren't random. They formed words. He leaned in. "Don't let it out," his breath caught. Okay, that's not funny. A cold chill ran down his spine. Someone had written that. Recently. Behind him? Click. The door shut. Aram spun around. "Hello?" No answer. He rushed to the door and pulled. It wouldn't budge. "Hey! Stop messing around." Still nothing. He banged on the door. "Bilal, is that you?" Silence. Then, a sound. From behind him. A soft scraping noise. He turned slowly. The wall. The scratches. Were moving. No, not moving. Growing. Fresh lines carved themselves into the paint, as if invisible fingers were dragging across the surface. Aram stumbled back. "What the hell?" The words changed. Now they read, "IT News, you're here." Something cold brushed past his ear. He felt it. Breathing. Right behind him. He froze. Slowly, very slowly, he turned his head. Nothing. The room was empty. But the air felt heavier, closer. Alive. The door clicked open. Aram didn't wait. He ran. Back into the corridor, his heart pounded violently. "That's not real. That's not real." He kept repeating it like a mantra. But deep down, he knew it was. He turned a corner. And stopped. The corridor had changed. The walls were darker. The lights flickered faintly, though there had been no electricity before. And at the far end, a door marked Ward 13. Arham frowned. I didn't see this before. He was sure of it. The hospital layout had been simple. No Ward 13, no extra wing. But now, it was there. The door creaked open on its own. Inside, darkness, thick and absolute. And from within, a voice, soft, whispering. Help me. Arham swallowed hard. Someone's in there. His logic returned. This is real. Someone is trapped. He stepped forward. Hello? I'm coming. The moment he crossed the doorway, the door slammed shut behind him. Pitch darkness swallowed him. His flashlight flickered, then died. No, no, no. He hit it against his palm. Nothing. The whisper came again, closer this time. Help me. Arham strained his eyes. Shapes began to form in the darkness. Beds, rows of them. Each one occupied. Figures lying still. Covered in sheets. A hospital ward. Full of patients. But this hospital was abandoned. He stepped closer to the nearest bed. Hello? No response. He reached out and pulled the sheet back. The face beneath it was his own. Arham stumbled back, gasping. No, no. He turned to the next bed. Pulled the sheet. Another face. Him. Every bed filled with him. Organon. Rotting. Eyes open. Staring. The whisper turned into laughter. Low. Broken. Inhuman. You shouldn't have come. The beds began to shake. The bodies sat up, all at once. Their heads snapping toward him, eyes wide, smiling. Arham screamed. One of them stood, then another, then all of them. They moved toward him, slowly at first, then faster. He ran, through the ward, past endless rows of identical corpses. Their footsteps echoed behind him. Closer, closer. At the end of the ward, a mirror. Stall. Cracked. Waiting. He had no choice. He ran into it. Instead of breaking, he fell through. And landed. Back in the corridor. But something was wrong. The hospital looked newer, clean, bright, alive. Voices filled the air. Doctors. Arham stood up slowly. What? A nurse rushed past him. Doctor, hurry! Ward 13 patient is unstable. He froze. Ward 13. Again. A doctor grabbed his arm. Where have you been? We need you now. I don't. No time. Come. Before he could react, he was pulled into a room. A patient lay strapped to a bed, thrashing violently. Screaming. He's not human, the patient yelled. He's not human. Arham stepped closer. Calm down. The patient's eyes locked onto him. And suddenly, he stopped struggling. A slow smile spread across his face. It's you. The room fell silent. The patient leaned forward slightly, though his body was still strapped. You came back. Arham's blood ran cold. What are you talking about? The patient's voice dropped to a whisper. You opened the door. The lights flickered. And now, the restraints snapped. The patient sat up. We're all free. The scream that followed wasn't human, and the lights went out. What came back, darkness, swallowed everything. Not the kind of darkness you see at night. This was thicker, heavier, alive. Arham couldn't move. His body felt frozen, as if something invisible had wrapped around him, tightening, squeezing, holding him in place. The scream still echoed in his ears. That inhuman sound. It hadn't come from the patient. It had come from everywhere. Then, silence. A faint hum flickered back to life. The lights, one by one, buzzing, flickering, stabilizing. Arham blinked rapidly. The room returned. But not the same room. Not the clean, modern one from seconds ago. This one was decayed, rotting. Walls stained dark. The smell, worse now. Fresh, like something had just died. The bed, still there, but the patient, gone. The restraints dangled loosely, torn open. Metal bent outward like soft plastic. Aram stumbled back. No, no, no. His voice shook. That's not possible. From the hallway. Footsteps. Uneven. Aram turned toward the door. It was open. Slightly. Just enough to see the corridor beyond. A figure passed by. Too fast to see clearly, but wrong. Bent at angles that bodies shouldn't bend. Aram held his breath. Another sound, closer. Right outside, a whisper. You let us out. Aram slammed the door shut. His hands trembled as he backed away. I didn't do anything. I didn't. Knock. He froze. Knock. Knock. Soft. Polite. Then, a voice. Doctor? Aram's heart skipped. That voice, normal, human. Doctor, please, I need help. He swallowed hard. This was real. It had to be. Someone alive. Slowly, he stepped toward the door. Who's there? A pause. Then, it's me. Aram frowned. Who? Silence. Then the voice changed. Lower. Colder. You know who. The door handle twisted violently. Aram jumped back. No. The handle stopped. Then, a soft laugh. You really don't remember, do you? Aram's breath quickened. Remember what? The wall behind him cracked. A long fracture spreading like a vein. From inside, something moved. A hand. Pushing through the wall. Aram screamed and stumbled away as the plaster broke apart. Dust filled the air, and from within, a body crawled out. It wasn't whole. Its limbs twisted backward. Its head hung at an unnatural angle. Its skin stretched too tight in some places, torn open in others. But its face, his face. Aram shook his head violently. No, no, this isn't real, the thing smiled. Its jaw cracked as it widened unnaturally. It is now. The door burst open. More footsteps flooded the room. Figures. Dozens. All broken. All wrong. All wearing his face. You let us out. They spoke together. We were quiet. Another step forward. We were contained. Closer. You opened the door. Aram backed into the corner. I didn't. I swear I didn't. One of them tilted its head. Bones cracked. You walked in. Another whispered. You listened. Another. You believed. They were surrounding him now. You remembered us. Aram shook uncontrollably. What are you? The closest one leaned in. Its breath cold, rotten. We are you. The lights exploded. Darkness again. And then, a memory. Not his, but inside his head. Bright lights. The hospital. New. Operational. Voices shouting. Machines beeping. Aram. But not the present Aram, a younger version. A younger version. Wearing a doctor's coat. Hands covered in blood. No pulse. Try again. Clear. The body on the table jolted, then flatlined. Silence. A nurse whispered, He's gone. Young Aram stepped back. Breathing heavily. I followed procedure, but something in his voice. Guilt. Another doctor spoke quietly. He shouldn't have been admitted to Ward 13, young Aram snapped. It wasn't my decision, but you signed the clearance. Silence. The memory shifted. Ward 13. Empty. Except for one room. Door locked. Inside, a patient. Strapped down, eyes open. Watching. Waiting. Young Aram entered. Alone. You're not supposed to be conscious, he muttered. The patient smiled. You're not supposed to be here. Young Aram froze. You hear them too, don't you? What? The ones in the walls. Silence. Young Aram backed toward the door. I'll call someone. They told me about you. He stopped. They said you would open it. Open what? The patient laughed softly. The door. The lights flickered. The walls. Scratched. Same words. Don't let it out. Young Arham's breathing quickened. I need to leave. But his hand didn't move. Something pulled him forward, toward the wall, toward a small, almost invisible, metal hatch. Locked. Sealed. He stared at it. What is this? Behind him? The patient whispered. Everything. And then, young Arham unlocked it. The memory shattered. Arham screamed as he snapped back into reality. The room. The creatures. Still there. You opened it. They spoke softly now. Before, Arham collapsed to his knees. No, I don't remember. One of them crouched in front of him. You forgot, another whispered. But we didn't. Their faces began to melt. Shifting. Changing. Not just him anymore. Other faces. Patients. Doctors. Something else. Something older. You let it in. The walls pulsed. The floor trembled. And from deep within the hospital, a sound, a heartbeat. Slow. Massive. Alive. Boom. 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 The creatures turned toward the sound, smiling. It's awake. Arm looked up slowly. What is that? All of them answered. Our patient. The floor beneath him cracked. Darkness seeped upward, like something breathing beneath the building. Something enormous. Something waiting. And now, something free. The thing beneath the heartbeat grew louder. Boom, boom, boom. Each pulse shook the floor beneath Arm's knees. Dust fell from the ceiling. Cracks spread like veins across the walls. The creatures stepped back, not afraid. No, reverent. It's waking up, they whispered. Arham tried to stand, but his legs trembled violently. What is it? No one answered directly. Instead, one of them, still wearing his face, smiled wider than humanly possible. You called it a patient. Another added softly. You tried to cure it. A third leaned in close. You fed it. Arham's chest tightened. I don't understand. The floor split open. A deep, jagged crack tore across the room, widening slowly. From within, darkness, but not empty darkness. Moving darkness. Something shifted below. Something vast. The heartbeat stopped. For one long, suffocating second. Silence. Then, everything inhaled. The building itself seemed to breathe in, walls pulled inward. Air rushed downward into the crack, and then it exhaled. A scream erupted from below. Not one voice. Thousands, layered, crying, begging, laughing, screaming. Arham covered his ears, but the sound wasn't outside. It was inside his head. Memories flooded him. Not his. Never his. Patients. Dozens. Hundreds. Brought into Ward 13. Experimental treatment, they had said. Last hope, they had promised. Young Arham signing forms. Approving cases. Convincing families. It's safe. It's necessary. It's the future of medicine. But behind those locked doors, something else was happening. The hatch. The one he opened. It wasn't a door to a room. It was a door to something alive. Something buried beneath the hospital. Something ancient. Something that fed. Arham gasped as the truth snapped into place. We gave them to it. The creature smiled. Yes, his voice broke. We fed it, people. Another step closer. You called them patients. Another whisper. You called it treatment. Another. You called yourself a doctor. Arham shook his head violently. No, I didn't know. The ground trembled again. The crack widened. Something rose. Slowly. Massively. A shape. Too large to fully see. Black. Endless. Covered in shifting forms. Hands. Bodies. All fused together. All moving. All screaming silently. Arham fell backward. What is that? The answer came from everywhere at once. Everything you buried. The mass shifted. A face pushed forward from it, not fully formed, but familiar, his own. You remember now. Arham's eyes filled with terror. No, no, the creature spoke again. But now, only in his voice. You opened me. The walls around them began to collapse inward. The hospital groaned like a dying animal. You fed me. The creatures behind him began to dissolve. Their bodies stretching, melting, pulled toward the mass below. You forgot me. Arham tried to crawl away, but the floor tilted, sliding him closer to the crack. I'm sorry, he screamed. I didn't know. I didn't know. The thing paused. Then, a soft, almost gentle whisper. You knew. And suddenly, he did. Every patient. Every scream. Every night he heard something beneath the floors, and chose to ignore it. Every time he signed another form, every time he told himself, it's for science, it's for progress, it's necessary. Tears streamed down his face. I remember, the creature pulsed. Yes, the floor gave way. Arm slid forward, straight toward the darkness. Hands shot out from the mass. Hundreds, grabbing, reaching, pulling. No, please. They caught him. Cold, wet, alive, dragging him down, into it. But then, something strange happened. The movement stopped. The creature stilled. All the hands froze. Even the heartbeat. Silent. Aram hung halfway into the mass, confused, terrified. What? What? The creature shifted. The faces changed, not screaming anymore. Watching, waiting. Then, a voice, not the creature, not the others, something deeper, older. You are not finished, Arham gasped. The grip loosened. He was pulled back, slowly, gently, placed on the broken floor. The mass receded slightly, watching him. Why? The voice answered. Because you can still open the door. Arham froze. What door? The walls reshaped. The hospital around him twisted, reforming. The clean version again. Bright. Working. Alive. He stood in the corridor, everything normal. Like nothing had happened. But at the end, Ward 13. The door closed. Waiting. The voice whispered, You can leave. A pause. Or you can open it again. Arham stared at the door, his hands shaking. Behind him, the faint echo of screams. In front, silence. Freedom, or truth, or damnation. He took a step forward, then another. His hand reached the handle. Cold, familiar. Tears rolled down his face. I won't do it again. The voice didn't respond. The silence deepened, his grip tightened. The whispers returned, soft, tempting. You can fix it, you can save them, you can understand. His breath grew uneven. I can fix it. His hand turned, click. The door opened, darkness spilled out, and from within, a smile.